This podcast is intended for adults 18 years and older. It contains explicit language and sexual situations. All thoughts and opinions expressed are of our own and not of those of any specific group, employer, or individual, and is not intended to take as professional advice.
Welcome to the Foreplay Podcast. Join the journey, experiences, and sexual adventures of two high school sweethearts navigating their way through the swinging lifestyle as millennials. Come along for the ride. Let's play. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Foreplay Podcast. I'm Bella.
I'm Jase.
And today we're talking about an experience that happened back in, I'm checking my notes in my little black book here, January of 2015. So, long time ago.
5 years ago.
And a half, almost more than 5 years ago. So it's almost 2021.
You're right.
Yeah.
Holy
goodness gracious.
shit, that's a long time.
Again, we're trying to do things in chronological order. So we're going from the beginning to present day, and currently present day is October 2020. So we'll
see you guys in 5 years.
But this is sorry if we can't do like a play-by-play. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how much we're going to remember of these experiences.
No, we have had a few current experiences that we have filmed right afterwards.
Yes.
So those will be really much more detailed, and that's what we're doing from now on. But these old ones, we just have to go based off of like the two little lines of notes that we have written from. Yeah. But at least we have the notes, or else we wouldn't have remembered it all.
I know, right? So, I probably wouldn't have remembered.
Or at least not the order.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in early January 2015, we have a friend who, I don't know if they still do it anymore.
No, because it's been a few years since they have.
But used to, every year, he would throw a party for his birthday. Him and his wife would throw a party for I don't know if it was both of their birthdays. But
his birthday.
Yeah, they'd throw a party and they always had a theme.
Yeah.
And it was always a really fun theme. This year was like a
I can't remember what I wore.
I don't remember exactly what I wore either. But it was like a fiesta, like a Mexican party, Latin party, that kind of like theme. Colorful stuff, just stuff like that. And so I don't remember exactly what I wore.
Not me either. I can't remember.
But I know we dressed up because we always dress up for his parties.
Yeah.
And so I don't remember exactly how everything got started that night.
Well, we were just hanging out with all of our friends, and he had rented out that big room in Colette since it was his birthday, and there was a single girl there who was friends with the host or the birthday boy, and we just clicked with her because she was
super young.
Yeah, she was really close to our age. At this point, we were 23 or 24
I bet
something?
She was 21.
Yeah, so
around 21. Yeah,
that's pretty in general rare to find someone who was younger than us at the time at lifestyle clubs.
Yeah, she was super
we just
cute.
Clicked. Yeah, she was super cute.
Let's give her a name.
Annie.
Yeah.
Do we have an Annie?
It doesn't matter. This is not the same Annie if we had an Annie or an earlier story. This is a different Annie.
So, Annie was super cute. She had that, geek girl kind of look, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
Did she wear glasses? I couldn't remember.
She had glasses on, though.
But she had red hair. And so she just was really cute. And
so that's why me and her clicked, the red hair thing. We have to protect our people. So I remember very clearly. So this podcast is going to be a couple different stories. So it's not like this is the only story because I don't remember that much that happened that night.
Yeah.
But I very clearly remember how things kind of got started with all of Annie and us.
At the club?
At the club.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had all been, like Bella said, we had been hanging out with our friends because we just had a ton of friends there. So we were just drinking, talking, hanging out with our friends, having a good time. It's not like anyone was playing back there. Like everyone was just hanging out and having fun. Mm-hmm. And so I remember that Annie was drinking something and she handed it to me because she wanted to go dance because she really liked the song. And so she ran off and you had went upstairs to the bathroom to go pee because the line, I don't know why you went upstairs. Maybe the line was taking too long. I don't know what the deal was, but you went upstairs.
Yeah.
And so I was just sitting back in that back room, just talking to the people while I was holding her drink. And then she came up to me and I said something stupid I don't know, I said so, I mean, I was doing you a favor, giving you a drink. I just making some dumb joke like that. And she was like, oh yeah, that's true. I should just give you a blowjob. That's what she said. I was like, whoa, that shit worked. I wasn't expecting that to actually. I was just making a joke. And so
I didn't know that happened.
she was like, would Bella care? And I was like, well, she should be back down in just a second, so you guys can just do it together. So then, and she said, okay. So then we moved out at that point to those white couches.
So we moved outside of the private room into the open. I do remember being in there, but I don't remember us leaving.
And so, like, me and her went over there. I think maybe me and her were waiting for you to come down.
Okay, yeah.
So me and her moved over so we could see you come down the stairs. And so I sat down, and literally, like, almost as I was sitting down, you were walking down the stairs.
Uh-huh.
So I, like, waved you. I was like, come over here. And so then you and her started giving me head just in the middle of that open room. I remember people just like watching all around us.
That is a really busy area.
It's a really busy
high
area.
Traffic.
Yeah, and it was like 1:30, so it was not dead in that area at all. But I remember you guys were just going down and me together for a while, and then
you didn't finish.
No, I didn't finish anything. That was kind of like it for that.
I'm sure we made out. I'm pretty sure we all did. We do a three-way kiss?
Probably,
why do I feel like I
think
remember
we did.
that? Cute.
And then after that, that's really all that happened at Colette.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything else happening.
No play or anything.
No, but our friends were having an after party. I don't know if it was the same friend or someone else in that group, but they were having I think it was the same.
I think it was the same group of people. But there was an after party at a hotel, and then
I think it might have been the hotel next door. I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I feel like we walked.
I think it was next door.
Yeah. So anyway, we all went to that hotel after party, and then I remember a couple things happening there. The first thing is I remember you giving one of our friends a blowjob.
Yep, I remember doing that.
That was
kind of the first thing.
That was the first thing that happened there. I also fairly clearly remember. So after that, me and you were sitting on a bed, and then Annie came back up to us, and she was just being flirty, and we were being flirty. And I remember kind of like pulling her in towards us, and then maybe this is where we did a three-way kiss.
Yeah,
because all three of us were like kind of like pulled together, and I think we were all naked at that point.
Yeah.
Because we'd all got naked for whatever reason. And so I remember that I was like fingering her, and she was like just standing there. Like we were all like standing by the bed. Like we were like in a triangle, like the three of us. And I was like fingering her, and she was kind of like giving me a hand job while I was sucking on her boobs or something like that. And then you and her were making out, and she was like kind of like feeling you up. So we were all like three in like a triangle of doing stuff.
That's sexy.
And then I remember she was like very like, I really want to see you guys fuck. Like that's
I remember her saying that, yeah.
So then
we moved to the bed.
I remember we moved to the bed, and me and you started fucking, and she was just like watching us, which was hot. And then I think that's all that really ever ended up happening with her.
I want to say she was like touching me. Did we ever go down on you again? I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
I think that was all.
I remember also seeing for the first time it was 1, 2, 3, I think 4 girls, including you. So one girl was laying on her back, and then it was almost like a train. And so another girl was going down on her.
Centipede?
Yeah, and then another girl was going down on her, and then you were going down on a girl.
I was in it?
I think Annie was the one that was in front of you. So I think...
yeah, because I thought I ate her out. Okay.
Yeah, I think I was fingering you. I think you were at the end of the train, right?
Were we on
Well,
all
I guess
fours?
then I was part of the train. Yeah. So the first girl that was laying down against the headboard on her back.
Yes, okay, I remember that.
She was getting eaten out almost missionary. And then there was another girl that was on her knees, like doggy, eating the first girl out. And then Annie was eating that girl out like doggy. And then you were eating Annie out doggy. And so I was like fingering you and kind of grabbing Annie's ass.
So you were the end of you were the tail.
I was the end of the train,
Yeah.
the caboose. The caboose, if you will. The caboose of the train. And you were like one of those freight things in the middle. But yeah, we did that. And then the only other thing that has any sort of recollection about this memory, I don't think I ever came there or anything like that. I think we just ended up going home.
No, there was 2 beds. And so then on the other bed, there was a couple playing, and I think she was giving him a blowjob.
Oh, yes, I forgot about this.
And then I went over, and I think I ate her out.
Yes. Yes.
I think in the same kind of position that I was over there.
I remember that because I remember looking over and seeing you do that, but I just went, and after we done all that stuff, I was just chilling out. There was like a chair in the corner, and I was just chilling out. And then Annie came over to me. I normally don't eat a lot whenever I'm drinking until like afterwards or stuff, but I so clearly remember like they had like birthday cake or something like that, and I also don't like sweets at all, so I normally never eat that.
Yeah.
But she like walked up to me just like completely naked, and she had like a really cute little body.
Yeah, she was
really cute, and she walked up to me and she was just like naked, and she had like this little piece of cake in her hand.
Or it was icing or something. It was like something like on her finger where she could like scoop it up, and then she like went over to you.
Yeah, and she was like, I'm a very big, I'm not germophobic, but I think I'm a germ aware person. So like, I don't love licking on people's fingers and stuff unless I know your hands are clean. Like, maybe that sounds bad. Like, I will go down on you, no problem, for whatever reason. It's just the hand things for me. But it's not like you're picking up everything with your vagina, you know? Like, it's a little different. Like, you pick up everything with your hands. So anyway, I normally don't do stuff like that, but she came over. Yeah, I think you're right, because I thought it was cake, but I think it was icing from the cake.
Yeah.
And she was just naked, and she was like, hey, do you want to try this icing? And I was like, can't say no to that. Like, I ate it off of her finger or something.
She like stuck it in your...
Yeah,
you didn't say it sexier than that.
Yeah.
You didn't just eat it off her finger.
No,
she went in and like
stuck it in
your
my
finger
mouth.
like in your mouth to have you like suck it.
To have me suck it off. And then like I think she did that and like giggled and kissed me. And then like walked off, and just like her ass walking the little background. It's so cute. And then that's when I remember like looking over and seeing you like doing that stuff with the other couple.
Mm-hmm,
and I was just I feel like I was just chilled out. So yeah, I feel after you were doing stuff with them,
and I don't think that couple, for some reason, I don't think they did stuff with. They didn't like swap.
Yeah, I don't think they swapped.
I don't know if because they were a little bit newer. And I know she did girl stuff, and we were friends. We had been in the same circle for a while, and so. I'm pretty sure we just kissed a little bit. I know.
Hope they're doing well. They're nice. But I feel like that kind of ends the night.
Yeah, for that night. And then I think we left and got an Uber and went home.
Yeah. Okay, so that was January 2015. And our next experience didn't happen until summer of 2016.
Yeah. It's like a year and a half.
So it wasn't like we took a break
from
lifestyle stuff.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you explain kind of what was going on at that time.
So we were still in the lifestyle. We were still going to Colette and going to clubs then pretty often. I think during that time we even went to some meetups with a local group in
Yeah, I think it was some of the people from the party.
Yeah. So they used to have little events, so we would go to those. But nothing ever. We never played for a whole year and a half. We didn't play.
And it wasn't like we weren't trying to. It just like it never worked out.
No, yeah, we were actively looking, but I don't know if we were just being too shy or too
picky.
Yeah, I almost feel like I think I was being really picky, saying like, oh, they're cute, but like I'm not super duper 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 attracted to him. I'm just kind of attracted to him, and I don't even want to take the effort to go talk to them.
Yeah, I feel like there was also couples where the guy was really good looking, the girl I wasn't super attracted to, same like thing with you, and we were like, well, it's just not worth it then.
Yeah, and well now we know because we're more open to talking to people. I think before I was just so shy. I didn't want to take that leap to go talk to them. And so now it's not just an attraction thing, right? It's once we vibe and once we get to know each other, it's not like I have to be a 10 out of 10 attracted to you before we play. Like,
I think that changed a lot about us. And also, we were 23. And so now
it's 26. This is in between 2015 and 2016.
Yeah, so it was like 23, 24.
Yes.
And I feel like there's this... And
I think we were 24, but yeah, we were still really young.
But, so now we're 28 now, so we're getting closer to 30. So I feel like now that lifestyle crowd, I feel like there's a lot of people that are 35 or like younger 30s. So that doesn't seem like such a huge gap of an age to me there, where it was almost like a 10 to 12 year age gap there for that like 30 to 35. And so I feel like that was kind of also something, is most of the people we had played with were really close to our age as a general rule.
No, not really.
I guess not.
No, it was hard for us to, I think, yeah, you too. It was just hard for us to go take the leap to talk to people. And so nothing happened for a whole year and a half because we were just being too in our head to picky whatever it was.
And I think that we literally took it only based off of looks more than like having that like little bit of vibe plus looks combined.
Yeah. And at that time, it was really, I don't know if silly is the word, but I feel like we didn't, once we played with someone, we didn't have the desire to play with them again. And that just sounds so bad, and especially looking back now, I'm like, that is so dumb. Because it's like even a emotional like relationship, like even with your significant partner, the more you guys have sex together, the more you get to know what that person likes. So even if you're just friends or what, you know, you guys are play partners or whatever, the more you guys play, the better it is. And at that time we were like, oh, we already did stuff with him, so
we want to find someone new.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was also still the thing. We were so new into it, and if you listen to the first podcast that we did, the reason we got into this was because we wanted to see what else was out there. So I feel like that was also our mentality.
It's not like what else was out. It was
new experiences.
Yeah, because we had only been with each other. We were virgins and everything, and we were together for many years, multiple years before we even like lost our virginity to each other. And we didn't have any other partners before each other, obviously, because we were virgins. So we wanted to know what it was like to be with other people.
So I feel like that was a lot of that mentality there.
Yeah.
So the biggest reason, and I want you to explain it more, but the biggest reason we were still going to the clubs, but really now I feel like we don't argue or fight about lifestyle things ever anymore.
No, yeah.
But there was this one rough patch it was a year period between these two experiences.
No, it was like from here until, let me look in our, it was like from our last experience was 2015, January 2015. It was like 2 years. It was like January 2015 until maybe the beginning of 2018 or the end of 2017. So it was like 2 years.
Yeah.
So, and it's not like there was a rough patch. We were still going. We were still having fun. But during this time was whenever we did have, I remember a couple fights where I had left the club crying.
Yeah.
Like maybe 3 times. Like not a lot.
Yeah.
But.
And I want to like get into that. So I'm going to explain, because we've talked about this in the past, kind of what we thought we were fighting about. So I want to explain where I came from and then how you took what I was saying. And then like how that lapse in communication, I feel like, is what made these problems happen.
Exactly, yeah.
So I remember at this point, now in the lifestyle, I'll go talk to people, you'll go talk to people. Like, it doesn't matter to either one of us. We'll both confront people and say hello and, you know, meet people.
Not confront people, but like we'll introduce ourselves and like say hi and stuff.
Not confront. Wrong word.
Yeah.
We'll introduce ourselves to people, and I'll do that as well as you. But back then, I was from this mentality of, and I think we both had that mentality.
Yeah, we were both open,
but it put a pressure on you.
Yeah.
Because I always was saying, well, the girl should talk to the girl first. It's less intimate. The girl should talk to the girl first. And I think that at that point, you had agreed with that. But the problem was, there would be a couple that we would see that we would think was cute, and I would say, "Hey, you should go talk to them. You should go talk to them." And then I think there was a lapse because you didn't really explain exactly to me that you didn't want me to keep pushing you. So I thought that I was helping us by trying to push you to get you to talk to people, but then you felt uncomfortable with it, but we didn't really communicate that well. Is that fair? Like, maybe that's where you can pick up. Yeah,
I wanted him to push me because I wanted to talk to these people, right? I wanted to be that kind of person who could just go up and talk to anybody. So I wanted him to help get me there, but because we were always saying that it's easier, it's best if the girls talk to the girls first, and that's how things get going, and that's how conversations start, which isn't true. The girls don't have to talk to the girls first. So that's just how we felt. And so I had that pressure on me where I was like, well, I have to be the one to initiate our friendships and our conversations with other people. And so it's not that you were pushing me. It's not like you were making me do something I didn't want to do. Like, I wanted you to help me, but I felt like it was only me.
Yeah.
Because you always said, or not you, like we always said, like, oh, the girls have to do it first. So I felt like it was always on me to go talk to someone.
I see that.
And that's why I got upset a few times, because it would take, and I would tell them, I was like, okay, well, I want to talk to them, but let's walk around first. Or like, I would make excuses. Or I would say,
well, let's go get a drink first. Or
let's I would love this song. Let's go dance first, and then I'll talk to them. Or I'll be like, well, maybe we should wait and see if like any other one is gonna come, and then we can choose like who we want to go talk to. And then by the end of the night, I'm like, well, I'm too scared to talk to anybody.
Or so, I think there's a couple like little like arguments in there too, because says I thought I was being encouraging. That's what I was trying to do by that.
Right, yeah.
But
which
sometimes
you were, but
it wasn't being taken correctly.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't going about it right, and you weren't communicating when I was pushing you too much.
Yeah, and that it was like, oh, always on me to do something.
And I feel like there was also other arguments in there too, because there was couples that we both wanted to talk to, but then we would, I mean, I can't say we, I guess it was me pushing you and you being too nervous at that point. So neither one of us wanted to talk to them, and then they would leave.
Or another couple would go talk to them, and then I would feel bad, and then now I'm like, well, now I can't even, now I feel even more worse about myself to even go talk to them, because they're already talking to someone else, and I don't want to like try to take them, and then you're like, no, you should just go talk to them, like, which really is fine. Like if someone is talking to another couple, like once they're not, I don't want to barge in, but I don't feel bad about
and it's not like you're trying
to
you're not trying to make something happen per se. It's just introducing yourself and saying hello and making a new friend, because I mean, it's not like we expect to play someone just because we say hello to you.
Exactly. We're just trying to open up the conversation. Mm-hmm. But at that time, when I was too afraid to go talk to them or whatever, and then someone else would come in, and then I think at one point you were like, well, see, like now they're already talking to someone else, so like we missed our opportunity. Yeah. I remember that was a fight. I was like, don't put this on me. This is not my fault. Yeah. And then I remember we left, and I was like really upset.
I don't want you guys to think that like we were violently fighting.
Oh,
it wasn't anything like that.
It was just like I just got mad. I was like, like I'm just ready to go. And then I think I was.
Yeah, it was never like awful. I mean, we still kept going back.
I think after that one I was like, I don't want to do lifestyle. So after we had talked about everything, just like we're doing right now, and understood what was happening. Or maybe, I think it actually took a few times of this specific kind of fight for us to realize this is actually what's happening. This is how I feel. And I feel like the pressure's put on me. I think at that point I didn't quite understand my feelings yet.
I think so too. Because there was a couple times when you were saying, okay, I don't want to go back to Colette for a couple months, so don't ask me about it. Yeah. And then whenever you brought it up again, you said, hey, I'm ready to go. Yeah. But we kept getting these fights because we never truly figured out what the source of the problem was. So once we finally had this clear communication of what happened, of saying, okay, you said, I feel like the pressure's on me. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm sorry, I never realized that, because I thought me being encouraging was what you wanted. Mm-hmm. And I said, and I keep pushing you because you never tell me to stop. Mm-hmm. And so then we made this rule that I should push you in a way to say, okay, let's go talk to them. But if you don't want to, then you have to tell me, hey, I don't want to do this. And then at that point, I would just drop pushing you, because I know you don't actually want to. Because if I kept pushing you and you're like, okay, I'm going to do it.
Which
I know you wanted to.
Nowadays, like now after this whole thing, and now that we're all on the same page, that is what we do. Mm-hmm.
But now it's always, and so I said, sometimes I'll just go talk to people now. Like if you're nervous, I'll go lead the conversation, like or say hi first or whatever it is.
Yeah. And the reason is because Jase used to also be like more afraid to go introduce us first, but now he isn't scared at all. Like 0% scared, but I still want to get there. Like I can go talk to people, but then I'm nervous to go talk to them. And so at that point, I want him to be like, okay, we want to go talk to them. And then I'm kind of like giggly. I'm like, okay, like I really want to. So that's when he'll push me because I want him to, because I want to be the person to be able to just go up and talk to anyone, no matter who you are.
And if you guys want to be better at that, the reason why I feel like I don't have as much resistance to going up and talking to people, if that's the right word, or I don't have that fear or nervousness. And I don't want to say that I have no fear or nervousness. I still get a little bit nervous here and there, but I always capitalize on the opportunity to do it, like to push myself to just do it even if I am nervous.
Yeah, whereas I'm still like, I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, so I read a book and it is called, I don't know how to say this, it's called the Book of Ichigo Ichi. It's ICHIGO space
I'll link it.
ICHIE. And it's this Japanese principle of every single moment only happens once in a lifetime. So even if you go to work with your same colleagues today and you talk around the water cooler or whatever, every day the conversation is going to be a little bit different. Every day, every moment, everything only happens once in your life. Like we wake up together every day next to each other, but there's always going to be something different about that moment. A moment never happens twice. And so I live from this principle of try to enjoy, and said I'm not perfect at this, but try to be in the moment all the time. And if you have an opportunity to do something you want to do, take the opportunity, because you never know if you're going to get the opportunity again. So I see a couple saying that I'm interested in talking to. I will go and talk to them because I don't know if they're ever going to be at the club again. What if that time we were meant to talk? Like, you just don't know. And so that's why I feel like I don't have that issue with going out to people, because I feel like saying I don't have nerves to do that isn't true, because I do sometimes get a little bit nervous. I feel like having that principle in my mind, knowing this is my only chance, it truly is, because you know you're going to be alive tomorrow. Like, this is right now is your only thing that you have guaranteed, is this second. So I want to take that opportunity while I have it, because I know I have the opportunity. So I feel like that's why I become that way. I feel like that book kind of changed my life in that aspect.
I need to. You told me all of these things, and you've told me about it, but I really do. I need to take the time to read it, and I think that's going to help me. Maybe that's the key for myself too. Because if that was the key for you, that should be the key for me.
I find there's been a lot of things that, like, I've just told you books to read, then you're like, oh, it actually did help.
When I actually read them, because there's like 3 books that really have changed my life that you told me to read. So this, I'm going to read this one. So maybe then I will never have to have this.
There you go. This podcast is brought to you by us, Bella and Jase. Are you guys looking to spice up your parties and just have a really fun time? Well, we do have the ultimate adult party game. It is called Foreplay the Game, and it is the ultimate adult icebreaker game. If you want some more information about that, you can check it out at foreplay.com/games.
We have an introduction to swinging course that you can find at foreplay.com/learn. It has all the information that we wish we would have known before we first got into the lifestyle, so hopefully it can help you guys out as well. You can find that at foreplay.com/learn. If you're looking for swinger and lifestyle clothing and accessories, we have a ton of that, lots and lots and lots of cute stuff at foreplay.com/shop. All right, now back to the show.
Going back to why we were having issues. What were we even talking about? We were talking about why we were having issues.
Well, it was basically just saying that I was putting all the pressure on you to do the conversating.
Yes.
And we weren't having that thing of me saying, okay, if I push you and you say I don't want to, you're going to tell me you don't want to.
Oh, yeah.
So then it doesn't go too far.
Right. We came to what the resolution was. And so now I want him to push me, but when I say I really don't want to talk to them, I really don't feel comfortable doing that, then he'll be like, okay, then I'm not going to push you anymore. Do you want me to go talk to them?
Yeah.
And then at that point I'll be like, yeah, like that's happened like a few times.
Yeah. Or do you want, now that one was talk, you just want to go dance, or you just want to go talk to some of our friends, or you want to just hang out, just me and you? Like, what do you want to do? And that's what I'll normally say, because I don't like either one of us ever being pushed to do something lifestyle-wise that one of us doesn't want to do.
Exactly, yeah.
So if you just don't want to talk to anybody at all, even if you don't want me to because you don't have the conversation, awesome. Like, let me know that so that we can go and dance. Or we can go, and same with me. Like, if I just want to hang out just me and you that night and I don't want you to go talk to people, then, like, I should communicate that to you of like, hey, I think tonight I just really want to, like, hang out me and you. And so I think that's where it got to, was us really opening our line of communication and being 100% like just understanding what each other was wanting through this.
And then another thing in between this long period of no playtime but still being in the lifestyle was I feel like we had expectations. We went in and we were taught... I feel like we always were trying to not always trying to make something happen, but I feel like, okay, if we're going to go out to a lifestyle thing, let's try to make something happen since we don't do this that often or whatever it is.
Yeah, and it's not like it's the cheapest thing to go to these clubs.
Exactly.
And we Uber both ways because we drink and we don't ever want to like drive in that situation for us personally. So it's not like it's necessarily super cheap when we went to Colette or we went somewhere like that. So I feel like we had this, like you said, a mentality of, oh, well, something needs to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's try to make that. It's not something needed to happen, but we were like, well, since we spent all this money, let's try to make something happen. If we see something, let's go for it. So that wasn't the way to go about it. So I know we got in some fights about that too, where...
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that also went in line with the whole being nervous to talk to people because then we're like, oh, it's a missed opportunity or whatever. So that caused some issues. So I think those two things were really the only things in the lifestyle that we had issues with each other. And I think that's why that whole year and a half or 2 years, it was like 2 years that we had those issues. And then from then on, we never did anymore. But... now that we know, so don't go into anything with any expectations.
Yeah, we never have any expectations now.
Yeah, like even now whenever we meet people we'll meet a couple for a double date and it's our first time meeting, we even communicate that with the couple that we're like, hey, there's no expectations, let's get a drink, and then, if everything vibes right.
Like even if we've... Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Even if we've talked to a couple before and they're like, oh, we're full swap. We're like, hey, we're full swap. Hey, really like you guys. We should hang out sometime. And we end up hanging out. We still have no expectation of
what's going to happen.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I always had to say, sure, if we're meeting with a couple and we have that feeling already, I want stuff to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I hope it does, but I don't ever have any sort of expectation that anything's going to.
Exactly.
And I'm not disappointed if it doesn't. I feel like that was also
that's
a thing.
Big thing too.
We would be disappointed if something didn't happen. And now, even if I thought 100% we were going to have sex or whatever, even if we didn't, I would be 0% upset about it.
Yeah.
Because I just enjoyed whatever we were doing.
Right.
Like now, I love going to Colette, and if we don't even talk to him, I just love dancing and hanging out with you. I don't have any sort of expectation or sadness if things don't happen. If something happens, it's like, woo, a bonus. That was fun.
Yeah, it's like icing on the cake.
But if not, I went there to have fun. And I did.
Yeah, we
so
just
I feel like that's the biggest thing too.
Meet good people, make new friendships. Whereas before we thought that it was like, oh, we gotta fuck or something. Like something's gotta happen. So.
I think that's just being young and naive in this.
Oh,
and,
for
and
sure.
the reason
or
that we got
new.
into it.
Yeah. And so we don't have those issues anymore, but we did want to talk about why there was such a long time between that. And it's important for you guys to know that it's not all rainbows and butterflies, and there has to be communication. Even if your communication is already completely awesome and great, things happen and you just always have to communicate.
And you have to learn from it. Because I really feel like in the last 3 years, I truthfully don't think we really had any
I don't remember any arguments.
There might have been a couple times like where we had like a conversation about something. I don't even know if that's true, but there hasn't been any times where you've been crying. Well, there's going to be a story where you broke your teeth on New Year's Eve. One time you left crying that time.
Oh my, that was bad, but that had nothing to do with it.
Not an argument. We'll get to that story at some point.
That's a good one.
But I think that we should segue off of that into this next couple. So this is now summer 2016. And I know that we had met this couple 2 or 3 times at Colette and just nothing had ever happened. Right?
Yes, we need to give them names. And they're actually 2 of our really good friends now. So let's give them really good names that we can really remember.
What about Selena and...
Carter
and Selena. Okay, I like those.
Those are cute names.
Okay. And they are such a cute couple.
Yeah.
And I will say
body,
that's what I was gonna say.
Y'all, it's like Photoshopped.
No,
how
it's like the Ryan Gosling in what's that movie?
Crazy Stupid Love. Whenever he takes his shirt off, and Emma Stone's like, how do you look like that? Like, that is what his body does, like that Dorito thing. And I like leaner bodies. Not that I don't like real muscular, beefy men too. He's just like lean and sculpted, and he works so hard. For a little bit, me, Carter, and Selena had like a Fitbit contest with each other with steps and stuff, and he was always doing like hella steps.
Yeah, but I literally remember we saw them one weekend. This was after this experience happened, but I remember one time you literally were like, if I get more steps than you this week, you guys have to come to Colette again next week because we're coming to this party.
Oh, I remember
And literally,
that.
you beat him and texted him. You said, hey, I beat you. And they showed up.
I forgot about that. So they were a super attractive couple, both dark hair, tan, great bodies. Ooh,
Yeah.
she's beautiful too. Her body
Yeah.
is also very beautiful. We had been friends for a while. We've known them for a while, and they weren't new, but they didn't have they hadn't had any full swaps.
They'd had some stuff with some single girls.
Yes.
I think that was it.
I honestly can't remember. I
I'm
just
pretty
know
sure it
they
was
hadn't
stuff
full
with some
swap
singles,
before.
yeah.
But they were interested. It just,
Yeah.
they couldn't find the right people.
And I
yet.
remember one time, so in between that, I remember one time we were going to soft swap with them. But then something ended up happening and we didn't.
I don't remember that.
And then,
yeah.
but we always like knew that we wanted to do stuff together. It just never
there was
happened.
like an underlying thing.
And-
it was always flirty
Yeah.
and stuff. I'm pretty sure we I don't know. Did we kiss?
I'm sure we'd
Probably,
kissed them
yeah.
and danced with them and done all that stuff.
I for sure did. Oh, she loves to dance.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love whenever they come because we always go dance together.
Yeah. And so I so clearly remember this. So we'd always wanted stuff to happen. I had went to the bathroom, or I went to get something in the locker or something, and you came up to me before them and you were like, hey, come with me. We're going to go get a room because we're doing stuff with them. And I was like, oh, hooray.
I feel like that's not the first time that's happened.
No, but
happens a lot.
Yeah.
Or like,
But normally we're together. But I was like walking to do something by myself and then come back to you. And that's when you came and got me like, hey, we're doing stuff together. I was like, oh, okay. Like we had already talked that we wanted this to happen.
Yeah.
And so I was just on board. So I remember we went back to the room and you and her started together.
Well, we went back to one of the playrooms in Colette. We didn't go to a hotel.
Yeah, it was like one of the ones with the
full curtain, not the sheer curtain.
not the sheer curtain, the opposite of the sheer. What is that?
What, opaque?
Yeah, opaque. The opaque curtain. And so you guys started together. You guys took each other's clothes off, and you guys were kind of
Doing
going
girl
down
stuff.
on each other,
Yeah,
all of
making
that.
out.
And then
She also is so soft. She has the softest skin I've ever felt on anybody. Every time I see her, and like the minute I touch her arm to say hi, I'm like, why are you so soft? She says it's some kind of oil that she uses. I can't remember what it is. I probably should so I can use it. Anyways,
She
beside
really
the
is
point.
so
I just remember
soft.
she feels like the softest thing you have ever felt. I'm like feeling my body
She feels
right
like
now.
a jar of coconut oil.
She does. Anyways, yeah.
so smooth.
Amazing. So we were doing girl stuff.
Yeah, and then
think we
I
went down each
very
other.
clearly remember you came over and started going down on me,
Mm-hmm.
and she was going down on him. And those little rooms are not that big. So I remember my back was against one of the walls, and his back was against the other wall. So
Mm-hmm.
we were facing opposite of each other. So you have the sheer or the opaque curtain, and then there would be a wall opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
We were on the opposite two walls of that. So
Yes.
long way. So I was sitting on one side, and he was sitting on the other side. And then I remember you were going down on me, and I was like, hey, you should go down on him
Mm-hmm.
together. So you got up, and so I can go down him together.
I feel
And
like
then-
you're a good wingman for the other guy because you're always, whenever we're together, you're always like, oh, you should go over there. And
Yeah,
give
because it's
him-
fun because every guy wants to get that.
Yeah.
And so it's fun. And then, lots of time you end up getting it too, which is always kind of fun as well. But even if you don't, I like to see you do that. I just think it's fun. That's hot
Right.
to me. So I remember you going over there, and then this is the first time I ever did this. So both of you guys, your asses were towards me. So I went over and I started fingering both of you at the same time
remember
while
that.
you were going down on him, which was super hot. I was like, I've never done that before. This is so fun. I was like, this looks like a porn. I've never done this before. And then after that for a little bit, you guys stopped going on him, and then you guys came over and started going on me together.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I don't think he did what you were doing.
I don't know if he
He
just
was probably
touched you
enjoying it,
guys, or I don't know if he's
Maybe
I don't
he,
remember
rubbed
exactly.
butts and stuff.
I don't remember. At that point, I was just looking at you guys.
Yeah.
And then I remember also. So did I like fuck you next, or did we switch to straight to them?
I think we went back to each other. I think we went back to our own partners to have sex and then switch. Because this was their first time, and we knew that.
And I remember.
We wanted them to
I think that's right. I think so. I think I was fucking you, and then I remember like I kind of moved around, and she was like giving him a blowjob or something, and you were like feeling her up or something like that, and I remember she was sitting there with kind of like her legs open, and I was down. I might have even been going down on her. And he told me, he was like, Jase, like, fuck her.
Oh.
And so I was like, okay. So like, clearly like, they were okay with it.
Yes.
So then I remember I started fucking her, and then you still weren't doing stuff with him. But then I think after I started fucking her, I think that you went back around, and like he moved over by you. And then I think that you guys started fucking while me and her was still fucking. She was like on her back, and I was fucking her, and then I think that you guys went and started fucking after that.
I can't remember any of the positions. I just remember it was really fun back then.
Oh,
I
remember. No, I skipped something. So me and you were going down on her together.
Oh, that was the first time.
That was the first time we'd ever done that.
That was the first time we did that, going down on a girl, just you and me.
Yeah.
And that is like one of our favorite things to do now.
Oh, I love going down on girls together. Like, going down on girls is fun anyway, but doing it together with you is, like, my favorite thing. I love it because we, like, me and you will kiss and then, like, go back and forth or kind of, like, do stuff to the girl together. And it just feels so, like, intimate to be there because I have, in a future experience, I've gone down on you with another girl. Like, me and another girl. That. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That just felt, like, awkward and forced to me. Like, it didn't.
No, it wasn't forced. It didn't feel forced. It just felt.
It just didn't feel like right. It felt like we were both trying to make something happen because it's sexy, but it wasn't like. It just didn't feel.
I think it's because you need an emotional connection with that person, so that's why I think it was better for us, like with our own partners.
I don't like eating you out with another girl.
Yeah, because it didn't feel right for me either.
Yeah.
It didn't feel bad. Like I felt good, but I thought that it would be that same kind of connection.
Off.
Yeah,
it just felt off. So
because I think I remember. Well, anyways, you guys will hear that later. But
yeah, so we were going at her together, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is so fun!" And as I said, that's still to this day.
You would eat her out, like whoever would eat her out, and then we would make out, and then you could like taste her like on each other's lips,
and you
like
kind of like
what?
Go down together on her, and then like maybe you go down for a second.
You could like finger her,
and so after that,
I think they were making out.
Yeah, or she was giving a blowjob or something like that.
Oh yeah, she probably was giving him a blowjob.
And then that's like after we stopped that, that's when he was like, "Oh, fuck her." So that's when I did that.
Yes, that's right.
And then I think after that, he fucked you.
Yes.
And we were kind of doing that for a while, and then you came back to me, and I remember you gave me a blowjob while they were still fucking.
Yeah.
And I came. Mm-hmm. I came, and then they were still kind of doing stuff, so we were kind of like.
Well, I knew that we both knew that this was their first full swap, and they were really going at it together, and I think that we were both like, we should let them finish together, and like we should leave them. We should go and then have them be able to just be connected with each other.
Yeah.
And so then you and I think we kissed them while she was riding him, I'm pretty sure, and then we left.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. I think I rode him. I think he did me doggy. The one thing is, I think since you guys will hear this later because we do play with him later on too, but he's like a director. Like he has great ideas of positions to put you in and things to do. Well, he'll say, "Oh, you should go over here and do this," or "She should come over here and do this." And
so she's the same way.
Yeah, because he even told you, he was like, "Hey, fuck her." Mm-hmm. And so that one experience was so long ago, I can't remember what things he said, but I've had lots of dicks, and he's one of the best ones. I'll say that. He's one of the best fucks.
Yeah, no, I really just love being around them. Like I said, we've literally gone on just normal like dates with them, like no playing.
Yeah, we did a vanilla date with them.
Yeah,
before.
just like hung out. I mean, is that a vanilla date if you're with the lifestyle people?
Yeah, because you're not doing lifestyle things; you're doing vanilla things.
Yeah, we just went and got like a dinner, cheeseburger. I mean, we just like hung out. So
we took since we're photographers, we did like a like a vow renewal kind of type shoot for them, and then we've got dinner. So
so it's just really easy to be around them. They're super fun.
To both of them, yeah.
So cute. I just love being around them. So it's been a minute since we've seen them too.
Yeah, and that was one of my favorite experience. Every experience we have with them. Which, how many are we on with them?
Like two.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more, huh?
We've only fucked them 2 times, but we've just hung out with them so many times that it just is always fun, even when we hang out. So
yeah,
I feel like honestly, that's kind of how that night ended.
Yeah, and then we went home.
Yeah, and it was really fun. So that was the biggest thing for me, though, with all of this is through this 1.5, 2-year phase of learning how to really communicate with each other and tell each other what we're actually feeling and how we can fix a problem. And so it took us 3 times to get to realize what was actually causing the issue. Mm-hmm. So that's my biggest advice for if any of you are, newer to this, or any of you guys have been arguing or whatever it is, try to figure out really like what is the root of the problem. What is causing it? Don't just like band-aid the fight that happened. Figure out why the fights keep happening and then fix that bigger issue. Because that's what like solved all of it for us.
Yeah, and check out that book that Jase is talking about. I'm going to read it. I know you told me about it, but I'm going to physically read it. I'm going to link that down in the show notes so you guys can take a look at that. Yeah. And so let's end this podcast with Bella and Jase's Weekly Obsessions.
Yes, I nailed it this week.
Yes, that was both of us at the same time.
I know. Oh, we were perfect harmony. That was perfect.
So speaking of harmony, we do our weekly obsession song and thing that we
and I said I was going to do books every week, but you told me not to do books every week, right? Because we're not a book club.
Yeah, I was just saying if that book was what you were obsessed with, because like this week you didn't like read a book that you were obsessed with. So
I did actually.
Oh, you did?
But,
if that was,
but it's not like my weekly obsession because it's going to be a book every single week. I literally read like a book a week, and that's usually what I'm obsessed with that week. So I feel like that's not like a fair like thing for you to say, oh, a book every single time.
I don't know. Okay, why don't you guys let us know? Send us. I'll put a poll. On our episode webpage that. Well, maybe not. I don't know. How should I do this? We don't have enough listeners for a poll yet.
Well, maybe sometimes what I'll do then is sometimes I'll just do normal weekly obsessions, and sometimes if there is a book that like is extra special,
like really, really, really resonated with you.
Yeah, or something that related to like today. If something resonated towards an experience that we had or something we were going through that helped me learn something, I'll throw that book in there as well.
Okay, cool.
So I feel like that. So sometimes you'll get books, sometimes you won't. But I guess if you guys really love me talking about books at the end, send us an email.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
So what's your favorite song
My favorite song this week?
I'll tell you mine. It's not even a real song. It's all I keep doing is twerk for me, twerk for me.
Oh, from TikTok?
Darling, twerk for me.
Twerk for me.
I learned the dance this week, and I think that's why I'm obsessed with it. I'm currently doing it right now. I'm shaking my booty.
My favorite song this week is... Has there been anything I've been... Honestly, the Justin Bieber song, Lonely, has been stuck in my head more than anything else this week.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's like my obsession. It's not my favorite song because it's kind of sad.
It's a sad song.
But I do really like that song, and that's what's been stuck in my head. So I guess I'll count that for like my obsession this week.
What we should do? Probably link the songs too. So
I
if
need
you
to sing
guys
it for you right now. I'm so lost.
But yeah, from now on we'll link the song.
How do you even link that?
Like a YouTube video,
okay.
like the lyric video or something. So we'll put that in the show notes as well.
Okay, I know my weekly obsession for things.
Me too. Okay, go ahead.
So finally, our game, the real actual copy from the manufacturer came in.
Mm-hmm. Fourplay.com/games.
Yes, and so the real copy, I mean, it still is like our prototype copy, but it looks pretty much exactly like the real one will. And that's my obsession, was just,
seeing it, touching it, feeling it, being like, oh my gosh, this is our game. So you guys can go to fourplay.com/games, the number 4 OURPLAY.com/games. As you're listening to this right now, it's not going to be completely out yet. We're going to put a complete different podcast episode when the Kickstarter is up. We're still working on typos, just making sure it's perfect. But anyways, yeah.
It's getting really, really close.
I feel
Almost.
bad if I don't say that that's also my weekly obsession, so that is one of them.
What was it going to be?
So other than the game, my weekly obsession has been dessert grazing boards.
Oh, I should have saw this coming. Yes.
So we were planning on having a couple come over, and I wanted to do some kind of charcuterie board or have some kind of snacks out for us to have. I don't know. And so I was on Pinterest looking at charcuterie boards because I was thinking of doing like the meats and the cheese and all those kinds of things and the pretzels and the olives. But then I was like, I don't really think eating salami and cheese is like very sexy. And so I
You're telling me that you don't think salami a little bit sexy?
Not if you're not sliced salami. Other salami is sexy. No, not salami, the sausage. You don't call it a salami.
Depends how big it is.
Anyway,
Okay.
So I was scrolling through Pinterest, and then I saw a dessert one that had chocolate strawberries, those kinds of things. And so I feel like chocolate strawberries are a sexy food, like a sexy kind of feel to it, right?
Yeah, and so like the grapes are on there. It's almost like, when they fed the people the grapes. Like,
yes,
kind of sexy
it's
food.
just sexy. And usually no one really eats at the grazing board anyway. It's just there to look pretty and like maybe nibble on possibly. But I just wanted something nice there. So we were planning on having a couple over, so then I had to go to IKEA. So
we went to IKEA.
So I had Jase drive me to IKEA so I could buy a platter, and then we had to go to Aldi's so I could go buy all the snacks. And it was
we went to Aldi's. I drove to Aldi's.
You drove to Aldi's, and I got
That's
all
like
the
you're doing all this stuff yourself.
And then as soon as I started putting it together, like I put the strawberries down and all that, and I was like, I'm having so much fun. And just putting the cookies down, and we got those chocolate wafers and stuff.
I'm
and
giggling making it.
I know. I like want to make another one. I need more people to come over so I have an excuse to make more. But anyways, that's super fun, and I want to continue doing that. That is my weekly obsession.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, well, I guess that is it. Should I try the outro? No, you should do the outro. I'll try the outro on the next one again because I screwed up the outro last time. Okay, hit him with the outro.
If you'd like to support the show, you can leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to our podcast. All our information will be listed in the show notes below. You can email us at fourplaypodcast@gmail.com. That's the number 4, O-U-R, playpodcast@gmail.com with any questions or comments, or head to fourplay.com/ask. We have a digital online game called Foreplay the Game. It's the ultimate adult party game for the sexually inclined and perfect for breaking the ice. You can find more information at foreplay.com/games. We give away 1 free game of Foreplay Plus a month to a listener who writes a review, so just screenshot your review and email it to us for a chance to win. We have swinger and lifestyle clothing and accessories at foreplay.com/shop and courses at foreplay.com/learn. And we also have a Facebook group called Foreplay Community and would love for you to join at facebook.com/group/foreplay community. We're on Twitter at Foreplay Podcast and Instagram at HeyBellaLuna and at HeyJaceB. I have an OnlyFans, which you can find at onlyfans.com/BellaLunaVIP or my free one at BellaLunaFree. Lastly, we're on Cassidy and SDC at Bella and Jase, and you can get a free 30-day full membership by using our link. Again, all our information will be listed in the show notes below, and we thank you so much for listening to our podcast. See you in the next one. Bye!